Welcome to Wow, the Naked Truth. I know you guys probably missed me because last week we took off, but we are back and we are here with Aja Whiteside, who has a program for us women. And I think it's such an awesome program in which I literally found Asia. It was some kind of, I kind of learned of her program in another group in which she had a very, very interesting question that brought to my attention. And then I kind of was communicating with her for like maybe, I want to say what, almost a month now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, Asia, go ahead and give our audience exactly what it is that you are bringing to the table today.
Well, I'm Aja. She already said it. I'm a confidence coach. I'm a hype man. I'm the biggest fan. All of that in one. And I just designed my first program. It's called Girl Boss Up, and I'm excited to talk about it today. So,
That's awesome. Now, let me tell you guys about the question that she had posted on another group forum that led me to inquire more about her program. Um, Asia had posted a post in regards to the program that she created called Girl Boss Up, and she inquired why a lot of Black women had not responded. She had stated that she had put this information out there, and women of other nationalities was hitting her up, which brought to my attention. We was thinking, well, I was thinking about all of these situations that we was noticing that took place with women of color, and was wondering why women of color was not stepping up to the plate to obtain information to help them be better. So before we go any further than that, just give us a little bit more of how you actually the background of how you came about with this program.
well, yeah. So, what made me want to do this program is I actually struggled with depression and anxiety for the last 2 years, right? And I didn't recognize at the time. I didn't recognize that I had a problem, right? I'm just like,
Hmm.
I'm just an angry person. Like it doesn't matter. But I did notice that all of my relationships were failing. Like I was losing jobs. Everything was really wrong. But still, I didn't pay attention to that. And then when I finally noticed that I had a problem, I'm like, I can't go to therapy. I can't tell a therapist about this because, I mean, having mental health issues is a white people thing. That's what we were taught, or that's what we thought about it. It was a white people thing. We never thought that we thought that getting help would make us seem crazy,
Hmm.
make us unstable. And I know one of my biggest fears for wanting to actually get help was I didn't want to lose my children. I have 2 kids, so I'm like, if I tell these people that I want to die or I'm struggling bad, they'll be like, okay, so let's get your kids out of the home, right? So
Right.
I was just, I just decided that I was going to try to go forward with it, do it on my own, really do nothing because I didn't have a plan. I didn't know where I was going. And then one day, I had a great night. I went out to the club, and when I woke up in the morning, something just took over my body. I was on the fourth floor of apartment building, and I just felt my body walking towards the ledge. It was like I had no control over it. I felt like I
Mm.
was, for lack of better words, possessed. Like I wasn't in control, and I almost jumped off the balcony. I didn't, thankfully. I pulled it together, and I was like, okay, I need help. Like I need help. Like I can't continue. So
Right.
when I did go, I checked myself into the ER, and all they did was they asked me a couple of questions. They let me sleep, and he said, "Oh, I think you have a mild case of depression. We're gonna send you home." And I was thinking in
Mm.
my head, "You're gonna send me home? Okay, I just told you I almost jumped off of a fourth-story balcony. So okay, that's fine." So this continued on for another year. And finally, I decided that there was no more. Like, I didn't want to risk anything else anymore. I didn't want to risk relationships. I didn't want people to call me crazy. I didn't want my kids to miss out on living life because I'm so tired and I just don't want to do anything. Right. So
Right.
I connected with a coach, and she basically helped me create a plan for myself to pull it together. Still wasn't therapy, but she really helped me. And I decided from that day forward, I never let another Black woman feel like she was going at it alone, that she was just crazy or she was weak for asking for help. So that's what made
Well,
me decide to pull this program together.
that's awesome. You do know that September is Suicide Prevention Month,
Hmm.
so this is an awesome you know month for us to bring this information to the T. Now, I do know that mental health is a taboo in the Black household. And us as
Definitely.
women, we tend to always want to be so strong for everyone else and don't know how to be strong for ourselves. And I think, we don't always have the answer. And I commend you for actually going to seek help. And I also think when them sending you back home is another problem that we have with doctors and Black women. They feel that we can endure so much more than the average person, in which the average person is someone that is not of African American or Black. So
Mhm.
with that being said, that causes you could have easily left that hospital and did carry on to a complete taking your life. So I
Right.
also am thankful that that did not take place. Now, with you seeking help, did your coach help you create the program that you're creating now, or was it something that you went through and then you decided to create it in a manner different than what you've experienced?
Right. So I decided when I decided that I was gonna do this anymore. I was just gonna take action. I was gonna jump in. I was gonna get myself together. I did decide to seek out a confidence, or not a confidence coach, I'm sorry, a business coach, right? So I'm like, she'll help me decide how to put my business together, how to regain the confidence in myself, right? And I think it all ties in together. That's still something that I'm really researching, since I'm just focused on building confidence, but it all ties in together. Through the program of me actually gaining the confidence to build my business, I built myself back up. I'm like, well, these feelings are less than me. Like, these feelings, they have nothing to do with I'm capable of accomplishing. Like, it's not me.
Right.
So I regained my confidence in that way. And yeah, she helped me put together this program. She's amazing, actually. I love it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you stated that your program is what, 6 weeks?
Yep. 6 weeks.
Okay. And each week there's a different avenue of helping an empowerment of self. So kind of give us more information as far as what each week consists of. Like, if your first week, is it empowerment? Is it confidence? What is it that the program is, with the 6 week division? You don't have to give us all the goodies, because we do know that, it's a process. So
Yeah.
just the topics of each week.
Right. So, like, this is my first, like I said, this is my first group coaching program that I'm releasing. So I plan to do this live, with the clients I get in my group. So we go live, and I really broke it down into three main steps. It sounds really basic, but it's jam packed. It's a lot of information. So I figure you can't know where you're going if you have no direction or you don't know where you want to go. So the first 2 weeks would be to clarify. I'm talking about
Mm,
clarifying where you want to go, what's stopping you, who's stopping you, how to get there,
okay.
yeah. So that's the first week. The second week would be to implement. You're going to implement a plan of action that you create to help you move forward and
Okay.
achieve the end result. And then the last 2 weeks would be follow through plans. So pretty much, once you're working on something, you always have that period of, you know what, I can't even do this. I'm wasting time. So we have to have rebuttals in place for that, because I know, because I went through it, so.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I kind of call those stinking thinkings.
Mhm.
Sometimes us as women, we have an irrational mindset when it comes to anger. We respond, especially if we've experienced something in our lives and it's like a trigger. Because a lot of times what we go through at that time is not what we're actually going through at that time. That's one of those little oxymorons because of you can be so angry. Let's
Right.
say somebody left the iron on, and you're
Mhm.
so freaking angry to the point of you're like, anybody else around you is like, it's just the iron. Why don't you just unplug the iron and put it up if that's the case? But you're not upset about the iron. The iron is like the tip of the iceberg,
Mhm.
and everything else that you've experienced has basically said, okay, I'm coming out with the iron being left on. So
Mhm.
there's, that clarity part is a very good part because sometimes we don't even know why we're angry.
Mhm.
And we can sit back and harbor that anger in for so long. And it could honestly be all the way back to the time when daddy left and never came back when we were 7. It could also be the
Exactly.
time when you reach the age of maturity and something happened to you that you never shared with someone. And so you have all of that anger built up. So I do believe clarity and understanding what it is that we've been through or what it is that we are going through will help us identify, which is what your second part is, implementing the change. You can't
Mhm.
change something if you don't admit it. I mean, they even say that in Alcoholic Anonymous, for the
Exactly.
first step is acknowledgement. You have to acknowledge that there is something wrong. And when you was given a briefing of your story, I was connecting to that because I myself have experienced my own downfall when I had a bad breakup, and that breakup caused me to look at life differently, especially if someone is telling you negative things about how life would be without them. And that resonates in women a lot, especially if we give 110% of ourselves to
Mhm.
someone, a relationship, that you don't get that back, and then that relationship dissolves.
Right.
So I mean, a lot of women are experiencing that and never ever ever seek out help. So how do you plan on getting women to kind of drop that facade and entering into a program that can help them, that they don't need that facade no more? It's like having makeup or a mask on, and like helping a woman remove that mask to find her clarity.
Right. So I think the way that I'm doing it as of now, because I'm only gonna get better. I'm still new to this, but the way that I plan on doing it now is I share my stories. And I don't know if you've ever visited my page, but my stories are always just outrageously crazy, like nobody believes it, but I'm like, this, no, this really happened, like I really dealt with this, like nobody believes my stories. And I think if I have the strength to share my stories, and have the strength to say why I'm not scared to share my stories, then I think that would encourage other women. I also have a, for the women that are that will be going through my course, I have a membership or a community, that they'll also be in. So you'll be watching other women share their stories, or you'll be giving other women advice about, their day-to-day activities, so you're not so afraid. You know that you're only a human being. Even if you are a superhuman, you're still a human. So I think that,
Right.
that community definitely will allow them to act as if they are human, really feel their emotions without fear of being judged or fear of people talking about them. So
Right. So basically, you're opened yourself and showing your vulnerability, so
mhm.
others can kind of join in and see your truth. Because it's very hard to follow. Like, there is so many programs out there, and very little of Black women attend these programs. And
Mhm.
I believe that it's because, one, they can't connect with the people that created the programs, and I also believe that the vulnerability of these people is not being shown. So I
Mhm.
commend you on the vulnerability part because I'm a personal believer that if you went through something and you show your truth, it's easier for me to trust you. So I'm really positive there's a lot of
Mhm.
women out there probably feeling and thinking the same way.
Mhm.
And then you stated, implementing a plan of action, which basically is, I'm assuming, after you identify the clarity of what it is that you want to change, now what it is that you're going through, now you want to identify the changes that are needed. You know,
Right.
now does those changes that you are going to help with, that's including health, finance, and self-esteem?
Right. So yeah, the changes would include all of that, right? Um, like I said, every step in my program is completely optional. Like I'm not going to force you to join in on the daily workouts because maybe that's not for you, or I'm not going to force you to join in the live videos from a finance coach, or I'm not going to force you to do any of that. But I do believe that every step in this program, every post in this program, every connection in this program can only help you maximize the gains that you get from this program. So,
Okay.
does that answer your question? I'm sorry.
Oh no, no, that answer
Oh.
definitely answered. I was thinking of my next questions, like, oh, that is awesome. So I hear you state that you have like a financial coach. So your program basically it sounds to me it's like based off of different experts
Right.
that you bring together to assist with certain projects within that program. So basically, you have a financial coach, a
Okay.
life coach, and what other types of coaches that you bring into the table?
So in fitness coaches, as of now, I haven't officially connected with someone to post in my actual program, but they will be posting in the actual community. So if,
Okay.
maybe if one of the lives go well, or if maybe, they design a video specifically that can help the women that I work with, then I'll be willing to, review it and put it in my program. But as of now, in my specific program, there are no coaches that will be speaking, but in the community, they'll be posting videos. So,
Oh wow. Okay.
yeah.
So basically, the program. So I'm understanding it a little bit more, which is
Mhm.
like really really good because it sounds to me that you're building a online program community
Mhm.
where it's like you can knock on the door of fitness, or you can knock on the
Mhm.
door of finance, or you can knock
Mhm.
on the door, for self confidence, or even a counselor or someone that can
Right.
help individually or altogether based on what the issue is at hand. So people don't have to feel uncomfortable by being in a group atmosphere. Sometimes it can be a one-on-one based on what it
Mhm.
is that they want to address. So I know that you stated with your own experience. Have anybody else's experience help this idea come to light for you? Like, you know, there's a lot of women, and in which I think we spoke on this with other topics and other table talks where
Mhm.
women, we some bad women. I'm gonna tell you that much. We can take that bad and turn it to good. We would be such a better, a
Definitely.
company, a community, what have you. Because I know a couple of weeks ago we spoke on the young lady who ran over her husband, and then
Mhm.
there was another viral video of a lady who blew up her boyfriend's car, and so all of this, that is so much rage to me.
Mhm.
So with your program, that's what I was asking. Was there any other type of influencers that helped you create this idea?
Really, just, I mean, looking at my friends, looking at people that I interact with on social media, it's just the things that we are comfortable with now. And I don't judge, right? Everybody has their own feelings, everybody likes their own things, but just the things that we okay as of now, it doesn't sit right with me, right? And I sometimes want to reach out to people and I'm like, do you want to talk about it? Do you want to discuss different options? I just want everyone to know that feeling better is possible. Like you don't have to settle for relationships that don't fit you. You don't have to settle for a job that doesn't support, your family time or your financial goals. You don't have to settle. You don't have to settle. You don't have to be uncomfortable in your own life. You can be comfortable. You can live the life that you want. And I think that's really the reason that a lot of women um, struggle with mental health issues. I know I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychologist, but I think that we so often we're accepting things that aren't for us, and it's an ongoing pattern. So at the end of the day, after settling accepting this and accepting that, we don't even know who we are. Like, we don't know what
Right.
we like. We don't know anything about ourselves. So my program is designed to take you from point A to B, because you can't go from point A to Z without taking the first steps.
That
Hmm.
is so true. And honestly, there is a lot of women that don't know anything about themselves
Hmm.
and know everything about their man or their children or
Hmm.
anything. Because I honestly, when I speak to a lot of women who contact me for just, counseling or even advice or anything of that nature, the first thing I always ask a woman is, what's your favorite color?
Right.
And that question catches people off guard because they have to think about it.
Right.
With them having to think about it makes you understand that they are not really aware of their favorite color. When you know your
Hmm.
favorite color, somebody say, "What's your favorite color?" Green. What's your favorite color?
Hmm.
Orange. If you have to sit back and think, which means that you have to go through everything of everybody else's to get back to your self, to identify your favorite color, your favorite food. That helps you identify you don't know who you are. So if you don't know who you are and you're going through a bad relationship or you're going through trouble in a relationship,
Hmm.
what do you think the other person that you're in a relationship with
They know
knows
this.
about you if you don't know you? Now, it doesn't mean that you're the problem, because a lot of times people take advantage of those who don't know who they are. You
I
know,
agree.
so they will manipulate you to be who they want you to be because you don't know who you are.
And now
My
you're
grandmother
further
used to have
away
a
from
saying.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I tell you, I'm full of old wise tales and wise
Hmm.
advice and so forth. And my grandmother used to say to us, "How empty of you to be so full of him." You
Right.
see, if you have nothing of self, then they're going to fill you of them, and then they're going to be mad when you start looking within yourself to bring
Hmm.
out your true self. And it might not match who they are.
Right.
And that's why your program is so awesome to women, especially, I want to say young women. So is there a age bracket
Hmm.
that you have in regards to your program?
Right. Yeah. So as of now, I've tailor made this program to the ages of 20, between the ages of 22 and 32. That's my focus right now. Of course, I'm gonna say this. I'll be honest. I was a little afraid to niche down so far to where I'm like, okay, I only want to work with Black women, or I only want to work with women that have been through traumatic relationship or experiences, or I only want to work with women between the ages of 22 and 32. But what I learned through experience and asking wild questions on the internet is that, I mean, if you're talking to everyone, you're not talking to anyone. So I want to make
Right,
sure that I'm able to get changes for people, right? I might in a year or two, I might design a program for maybe younger women or
right.
older women. This is who I want to focus on right now, because I'm there. I was there. I know how you feel. I know what you went through, and I can get help you get the change that you want. So.
Okay. And that's very interesting you said 22, because at that, I'm going to tell you, my daughter's 22, about to be
Mhm.
23 this week, and which I used to think, and this is just me being old fashioned or old school, however anybody want to
Mhm.
put that, but I used to
Mhm.
think that at that age, you don't really know. You have to experience life to know exactly what it is that you want. But what I'm hearing from you and your program is not,
Mhm.
it's not about the experience, because you're really going to get that experience anyway. It's
Exactly.
knowing you through that experience.
Mhm.
Is
You
that
have
what
to
you're
have
bringing
it.
to the table?
Definitely. And one of my main core values, or my main focuses on with this program, is you have to have a unmoved, unchangeable set of moral values. I think that's something that a lot of us steer away from. Like, if your values can be changed or your morals can be changed, then you'll never figure yourself out, right? And I don't focus on religion so much in this program, but I definitely encourage people to tap into whatever spirituality that they resonate with. Like, it's not, it's you I just feel like you cannot move forward if you do not have a set standard of values. You can't, because anyone will be able
Right.
to tell you to do anything, right? And I think that was
Right.
the biggest problem with me. So yeah.
That is definitely a very good step as far as having a spiritual background into any kind of program that you actually get into. So tell our viewers exactly how they can obtain the information for your community and your platform that you're creating.
Right. So I can actually post my link in the. Can I post it in the comments, or how can I do that?
You
My
well,
web.
what we can do is after the table talk, we'll go ahead and
Mhm.
post all the information as far as leading up to um, your program and your community so that those who are interested in it will communicate with you. And if they have any additional questions, they know where to find you. So
Okay.
that information will be posted after this is over, guys. So if you're interested into the program, that will be it. Now, when a question I have, you stated 22 to 32. Why
Mhm.
32? That's like an odd
Um.
number. Usually people go by fives.
Right. I mean, so that's a 10-year age gap. I just believe between 22 and 32, and I've never reached 33. I'm just speaking from experience. That's all I can tell you about. But I believe that those are the ages where we struggle the most with identifying self. Right. We have so much pressure on us to. We need to be having big houses. We need to have long hair. We need to have perfect eyebrows. We need to be classy at all. It's just so much pressure for us, and it's so many different influences as of now with those ages. So I believe those are the perfect ages for my program because sorry, I got to leave. Because I believe that that's the ages that they struggle the most with this. And then I believe those are also the ages that are most active on social media. And we know that that's where most of the influences come. So that's why I chose those ages.
Oh, that's good. I was being that you spoke of social media because previously on another naked table, which was clout chasing, we was
Hmm.
speaking on how social media influences who we are today, and sometimes it can actually become an addiction.
Yeah.
So, in with your program, are you going to speak on the comparison issues that a lot of young people in that age bracket will like pull up something and compare themselves, like you stated, you need, in which you're comparing yourself to what you see other people having, and that is such a bad, really bad
Hmm.
way of viewing how your life is supposed to run because it's not a race. Everybody works differently. I'm in my late 40s and
Hmm.
haven't really decided to get a degree until I was in my 40s. And with that being said, I basically spent my whole 20s and 30s just basically surviving and taking care of my children and not knowing. So that age bracket, and when I was growing up, we didn't even have social media in the manner that you guys have it. We had beepers and we did our little beeper conversations and phone booths. Now the world, when they say the world is at your fingertips, the world is truly at your fingertips. And because of that, what you guys have, y'all have such a large amount of information, and you
Hmm.
see a lot of, I want to call it fake, because a lot of times information that you're seeing of someone is not real, and
Right.
that also harms the way that you think, especially like you stated in that age group that you have.
Yeah.
So will that comparison and social media information that you've identified be a part of your program as well?
Right. So I believe that all ties into dismantling the limiting beliefs that we have on ourselves. Because I don't want to give off the impression, or I guess discourage anyone from wanting material possessions. Because who doesn't like nice things? I like nice things. I want nice things. I want a big house. I
Right.
want nice pictures, right? But don't think that you have to jump the process and be there now, right? Because there's always a process. There's always things that you have to do. It doesn't come easy to most people. So a lot of times that get us down. It's like you look at yourself, you're like, well, she's here, he's there, and I'm here. But we totally neglect the fact that it's different. Like you might have to you might have to try a different way, or you might have to put in a little bit more effort. You can always have what they have. You know, if you want it, you can have what they have. If that's something that you truly want.
Right. And that honestly goes into hand in hand with purpose. Everybody's purpose is different. Everybody's journey is different. And I kind of try to give that to my daughter and any females that, come around me when I have those conversations. I speak on, what's for you is for you and what's for them is for them, you
Right.
know. So I kind of I like that. So, is there anything else that you want to bring to our attention before we go ahead and end this? Because I am so hyped, and I can't wait to see how um, this community works. Because I think it's honestly needed for your age bracket that you've
Mm-hmm.
identified, and I also think, there's very few programs out there for women in that age bracket,
Mm-hmm.
and I commend you for that. Because we have Iyanla Van Zant, who basically she's awesome.
Yeah.
She's awesome. She's one of my idols, in which she do bring a lot to the table, but to specify a certain group of women in
Mm-hmm.
that age bracket that is entering into adulthood and not knowing what that consists of, and then you're admiring social media and other people, and also relationships. You
Mm-hmm.
admire the relationship of others, so therefore you try to recreate that within yourself, and kind
Right.
of lose themselves in the process. For you to bring a program for your age bracket that you've identified,
Mm-hmm.
and be sincere, vulnerable, and true with it, is an awesome thing. So what else can you go ahead and give us? Because I cannot wait to kind of go ahead and get that information out there and hurry up and get you your community built up.
Right, yeah. So I just wanted to say that I'm new to this, but I'm true to this. Like I'm in this, and even if this program don't reach a lot of people, I'm going to keep going because I believe that I'm living in my purpose. I'm fulfilling my mission. So I
Right.
also want to say that another way that I empower women or Black women is I provide like you kind of, but it's on in my community. I like to work with or partner with coaches, different coaches, or anybody that can add benefit to my clients. I'm with partnering with them. So that's just another way that I offer.
Okay, now are you looking for people to assist you with those? Because we might have people within our community here at Wow that may be beneficial to you. So if you guys are interested in helping build her community, hit her up as well. Because as you stated, um you were seeking, what is it? Fitness coach, right?
Fitness coach. I mean, I have a couple of those. I would like to partner with more finance coaches, even love coaches. I'm down for it all. So any way that I can help anyone, give what I know, and then you give me what you know. I love that. There's no way that I would have even had the strength or the proper mindset to even jump and create this program without speaking to people like you or people in different Facebook groups that are working at the same thing or, have started businesses. So I believe that's the only way that you would ever be successful is to partner up, take advice, give advice, and just
Mhm.
share. There's enough for everybody. So,
There is, and you basically gave us some words of wisdom and some golden nuggets today. And I'm with you with each one teaches one. We are all here to work with each other. And with this coronavirus going around, we are all in some way, shape, or form suffering in our own
mhm.
way. So if this community being virtual and everything of this nature is something to help everybody kind of get a little step closer to some form of normalcy, a ear to speak with, because a lot of times we tend to feel like we don't have nobody to talk to. And the
Mhm.
reason being is you don't want to talk to the people that you truly know, because then you don't want to express your truth to them because they can use your truth against you. But going
Mhm.
into a community such as this that you're presenting is awesome, because they get other people who is genuine and true and
Mhm.
vulnerable just like themselves in other places all over the world. Where are you located? Because I know, and this is something I want to put out there, guys. The reason why we started 10 minutes late is because of me. I'm always thinking that everybody's on the East Coast, right? And when I contacted Asia, I was like, "Hey, I'm waiting for you." She was like, "It's what, 12:30 in my time." I was like, "Oh my god!" So, where are you actually located?
I'm actually in Phoenix, Arizona, so I'm Mountain Standard Time.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
It's hot there.
It's
It's hot.
actually it's back and forth. Like it was hot. It was hot yesterday. It's gonna be cold today. Hot the next day. I mean, you never really know until you step outside. So I kind of go out
It's
with
that
shorts, sweaters, and one boot and one sandal. Not just kidding,
bipolar.
but might as well
Awesome.
just to be prepared for whatever. So.
Okay, so that's good to know. Arizona. I'm gonna go ahead
Mhm.
and make sure I remember that next time I'll be hitting you up, because I'm like, oh, what, and like there's another young lady in which I
Mhm.
found out that she's in California, so I gotta kind of keep asking my Alexa, the time difference,
Mhm.
because
That's me too.
me in Virginia, that's me just feeling like everybody is like right around the corner. So, with that being said, I want to thank you for being my guest today, bringing all of
Thank
this
you.
knowledge. And
Mhm.
like I said, each one teaches one. We are here to promote, we are here to advise, and we are here to help. So, again, I thank you. And all the information for Girl Boss Up, will be posted on the WOW page. I thank you guys, and you guys have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good day.